David Moskowitz, Ruby Slippers. Ruby Slippers, David Moskowitz.
Do you remember the movie The Wizard of Oz? 1939, it's a story by Frank Baum about a little girl named Dorothy in her house in Kansas. Big wind comes along and sucks her up in the air, twists her way around and drops her down in Munchkin Land, right on top of a bad witch. Kills the witch dead, squash. Because Dorothy kills the witch, she gets to wear the ruby slippers. Most of the movie is about whether Dorothy gets to keep or lose the magic footwear. My favorite thing in this movie has always been those ruby slippers. This is why. We're in a land where witches fly around on broomsticks and travel in pink climate-controlled bubbles. The monkeys have wings, and still, the magic in this place that's the most powerful are a pair of bedazzled red little girl shoes. Toastmasters, guess? Contest master? I think these shoes are an excellent metaphor for where we all get power in our lives and how we use it. Most of us are going to have to journey a long way before we find our own personal magic and our own version of the ruby slippers. Like when Dorothy first lands in Munchkin Land. You know what happens? They love her. They just love her. They give her parades, and they give her proclamations, and the Lullaby League dances, and the Lollipop Guild even gives her candy. And then she meets the Wicked Witch of the West. It's just a teeny bit ticked off. Because Dorothy dropped a house on her sister. Sorry. And the witch wants those ruby slippers. Dorothy wants to keep them. There's your conflict. Dorothy wants to take the slippers and go home, and the witch wants to stop her. Now, similarly, many of us will have an adventure, not quite as dramatic as Oz, but equally important when we start a new job. There's a lot of hoopla surrounding a new job. You meet human resources, and they say hi. They give you gift baskets. You meet Bob. You know Bob? Hi there, I'm Bob. I'm here to help. It's not. It settles down though pretty quick, and you just want to do your job. Basically, you plot out a path, like the Munchkin Land mayor told Dorothy. Hey, follow your yellow brick road. You follow your yellow brick road. Except in real life, the path is never that clearly laid out. And most days, face it, there's at least one mean son of a witch trying to stop you. I see you've met them. Let's meet mine. When I was in college, I wanted to be an actor. I had long, flowing hair, more than the 5. And I had enthusiasm. I did not have one thing, though. Talent. So, the next best thing to having talent was getting a job at a dinner theater where there were actors who had talent. I thought it might rub off on me. All I wanted was a job that paid me to talk to people, a paycheck. That's it. A couple of days into it, I meet my bad witch. Ladies and gentlemen, Nancy. She ran that dinner theater and she did not like me. The words I remember were clueless and goofy. She was waiting for me to screw up. And I did not disappoint her. It's a Saturday night, much like this one. 300 people in this dining room. I have a tray, a black tray, with 3 perfectly chilled glasses of wine. I have to make it all the way across the dining room. And I do. Way over here. I don't trip over anyone. There's my man, Mr. Green Polyester Jacket Man. He's got a crew cut, blocky black glasses. He's eating his dinner like he's never had one before. And I say, excuse me, Mr. Man, please don't lean back. He leans back, says, what? Hits my elbow. And there's those 3 perfectly chilled glasses of wine down his perfectly chilled polyester alcohol-soaked back. There's Nancy. And I see the thought bubble. Guess what it says? I've got you now, my pretty, and your little job, too. I was fired. I thought I'd never find my way home. Except there was a man at that table that owned a radio station, Mr. Johnson, God bless him. He thought I was funny. He found me a couple weeks later, and he gave me my first job in radio, and then I started a broadcast career right after college. Just like Dorothy, I had a witch trying to stop me, and I just had to figure out what my version of those ruby slippers were. My case, microphone. Now, most of what Dorothy learns comes from challenging herself. She could have stayed in Oz, in the merry old land, and gotten mani-pettied all day. She'd be fine. Instead, she chose to follow the yellow brick road to the dark, scary castle with the Oreos, because it had what she wanted in it. The Wizard of Oz told Dorothy, "His son, you want to be happy? Easy peasy. Go kill the witch. Melt her. It'll be fine. Bring me her broomstick. I don't know how you melt her. Have a good day. Call me when it's done." Bad career advice. Many of us have gotten bad career advice, and we followed it anyway because we had to. Oz, boss, and because you learn from the journey. See, if I hadn't met Nancy the Bad Witch, I wouldn't have met Mr. Johnson in the radio career. If Dorothy hadn't listened to the man behind the curtain, she'd have never been able to use those slippers to go home when it was time. Toastmasters, I want you to remember, when you go home tonight, the last words that Glinda tells Dorothy. Remember? She says, "There's no place like home. There's no place like home." And it is true. When you find the thing in life you're good at, there is nothing like it on earth. But most of you are going to have to journey a long way to some dark, scary places. Drop a couple of houses right on top of some witches of your own before you find your own version of the ruby slippers and the clearest path home for you. Contest Master.